how do you correct maybe officers who at the time had done certain things which they shouldn't have done?
Of course, there are laid down procedures, disciplinary procedures. You recall that in 1999, when the present civilian dispensation came in, the SSS in particular was accused of human rights abuses, which led to the setting up of Oputa panel. And luckily, the SSS was not indicted in that report. But the impression, the perception of people is that our security forces are not civil. Look at the report of the Amnesty International, for instance. How do you explain that Amnesty International will come and write a report without finding out from, is against the law of natural justice, that you don't hear from one side, you hear from one side and take a decision?
Now, quite a number of people say that maybe that's what could dampen the morale yes. of of the military, for instance, especially the military, because that report was more about them rather than whether or not service chiefs should be changed. Because what we've seen so far is that the president has met with the service chiefs. He's, they've given him the challenges we've talked about. I think he also spoke about how he's asking them for a list of the things that he's going to present to the G7 nations. And we've seen the security chiefs also be a little bit more busy in recent times. We've seen several visits to even the northeast, where the battle has been going on, to boost the morale of troops. We've seen some steps in welfare. We've seen more committed statements from the service chiefs in terms of what is going on in that area. It doesn't suggest any dampening of morale. So the question is, why do you think that the presidency should give bite or give reaction to these types of headlines if they're just there for the heck of it?
No. You see, what I'm talking about, for the service chiefs, they have no choice than to comply with the directive of Mr. President. So they must be upbeat in their activities. But the point I'm making that the media should be regulated to some extent. The type of stories you hear, the type of stories that, like the print media,
that may be interpreted as censorship.
No. I mean, we should even censor ourselves in the media.
Yeah, there's self-censorship.
There's self-censorship, but it doesn't follow. They don't follow the procedure.
I want you to land on that. You said the electronic media.
No. The print media. The print media, for instance, the kind of stories they can. And if you read online and see reaction of people.
If you say online, maybe. But if you say the print media, they will always argue with you. They've got different regulatory bodies. But they know that they always say, look, if anybody has any questions whatsoever, there are certain authorities who go right to.
What are the regulatory bodies doing? What are they doing?
How many have written to them for certain infractions?
You see, that I've continued to maintain that our print media in particular, take channels for instance now, you are discussing live. There are certain things you shouldn't say. You censor yourself. But for the print media, they want to sell their newspapers. And if you read online and see some subversive publications capable of inflaming passions, these are the issues I'm talking about. And when people read, like, the military is disturbed, SSS leadership, the president is not happy with the SSS. How do you expect?
Are you suggesting that those kind of stories are not true?
They are not true. They are not true.
I want people to say
I don't know whether they are true. Let us be on the same page. I don't know whether they are true or not, but such matters, government should react.
But do you also think, if you say that service chiefs are political appointees,
yes,
does it then follow that when administration changes, they should be relieved of their posts, as ministers are, because they are political appointees?
It is the prerogative of Mr. President to determine who should stay and who should not stay. Don't forget that some of those service chiefs you are looking at too have their sympathies.
Yeah, so who will be happy that he's going to go? So if the paper say they're not happy, what's wrong about that?
No, a lot of things wrong with that. I'm not talking of leadership now. The president is free to choose whoever he wants to work for him. But I'm talking of the institution. We should separate the leadership of the various agencies from the workers.
Very quickly, if we can do this in 30 seconds. Yes. If there's one thing I'm quite sure people in service would love to hear from you, who is out of service, you have that freedom to say more on that. It has to do with welfare for the members of the Nigerian military, the DSS, and even the police. What would you love to see the government of the day do in terms of welfare for these ones?
Well, you see, in terms of welfare, welfare encompasses a lot of things. You can talk of training, you can talk of incentives, you talk of increment for salaries, and all the likes. You know, talk of morale boosting.
Is the salary enough for them?
No salary is enough. No salary is enough. And in terms of funding, security agencies are not adequately funded. And I believe Mr. President should take up this in funding and training.
All right, but then, yes, indeed, it's important that laws are there, people should stick to it. I get the point you're making about the media, how they need to do what is right, actually. Thank you for coming on. Mr. Mikey Jaffa is the former director with the SSS. And this is where we draw the curtains today as well on the program today. We thank you all for watching. We'll be back next time. I'm Chamberlain Oso.
Oh, thank you. I'm Maokwe Ogun.
Many thanks. I'm Sulaiman Alede.
Goodbye.